Okay, so day 2, we're going to focus on unit analysis. We're going to use the same chart from yesterday. We're just going to show a little bit of a different process. Again, yesterday was proportional reasoning. And to be honest, this way, much easier. It's quick. And you could do lots of conversions at one time. It's pretty quick. So let's take a look at this. You're going from inch to centimeter. Even if you don't know if the inch is bigger than the centimeter, it doesn't matter because you can just use the chart. In a sense, you don't even have to think, which is kind of nice. You just want to get the conversion done and be on with your life. Nowadays, people, you know, if I need a conversion, you just ask Google, you ask Siri, and it's done. Like, you don't have to do this kind of work in your day-to-day life. But in school, you have to know this, okay, to pass courses and because you don't have your technology with you. Okay, so let's go find the relationship for inch and centimeter. Inch and centimeter. Where are we looking? Right here. You see it? For 1 inch, you get about 2.5 centimeters. Just as a quick review, which system is inch from? Which system? Loud. Imperial. And centimeters from? Good. Okay, now let's just check out how simple this is. You don't have to do cross multiplying. You just have to do unit canceling. So right beside unit analysis, just put canceling. It's so nice. Canceling. I'll just show you a quick cancel. X over X. Guess what happens when you have something that's on the top that's the same as the bottom? They cancel, you're left with a placeholder 1. So anything divided by itself is 1. Like what's 5 groups of 5? What's 5 divided by 5? 1. There's 1 in each group, right? So let's do that. Watch this. 114 inch. I don't want inch. I want centimeter. So we do a factor where inch is in the bottom and centimeter is in the top. And guess what happens? The inch cancels and you're left in centimeters. It's the easiest way to do this. And all you need is the relationship from the chart. What does the chart say? What does the chart say? 1 inch. So you put 1 in the bottom. And what do you put in the top? 2.54. So it's 114 multiplied by 2.54. Is that too bad? That's not too bad, hey? 289.56 centimeters. Okay, let's try the next one. We got to go from a mile to a meter. Can you find that one on the chart? What could you find? A mile to a kilometer, right? So let's do that one first. I know 1 mile, and it's right from the chart, is 1.609 kilometers. Now I got to go from kilometers to meters. Yes, sir. Hey? Okay, he's giving me the answer. Good. So he went 3 decimal moves. So why is it 3 decimal moves to 1609? You follow the number line. You have to be aware that kilometer to meter is metric to metric. So if it's metric, it's just factors of 10. Kilometer to meter is 1, 2, 3 jumps. And our unit got smaller, so our number gets bigger. You got another one? Right on this side. Okay. Feet to meter. Feet to meter. Do you have that one on the chart? Yes, you do. Do you see it? Feet to meter. So that's pretty much the hardest part. You just got to find it in the chart. So you want the feet to cancel, and you want to be left in meter. So where do I put the feet, bottom or top? Put it in the bottom, put the meter in the top, and then what's the relationship between feet to meter? Good. So all you have to do is take 3 feet and multiply by 0.3048, and the feet will cancel. So I guess I'll do that for you. 3 times 0.3048. I'm getting 0.9144. Just a quick word. What is 3 feet in imperial? 3 feet is 1 yard. And look at 1 yard. 0.9144. So it looks good. It looks good. 1 yard, 0.9144. Also 3 feet is 1 yard. Okay, the next one. Number 4. You're going yard to centimeter. So what 2 systems are in play here? Imperial and metric. So go find yard. Do you have any yard to metric? Just 2, right? So you're going to have to do 2 conversions in one. We know that 1 yard is this. So we can continue on. 0.9144 meters. Now you need to find what this would be in centimeters. Should be very easy at this point. How many decimal moves? How many jumps from meter to centimeter? Okay, so 2 decimal moves. Do I make the number bigger or do I make the number smaller? Make the number bigger because the unit got smaller. So move the decimal twice, and you get 91.44. Okay, number 5, you guys are going to try on your own. So for number 5, I want kilometers to cancel. So I need to multiply by a conversion factor that has kilometers in the bottom and miles in the top. Then the kilometers cancels and I'm left in miles. So all I need is to look at my chart and find a relationship between miles and kilometers. You have 2 choices, here and here. I'm going to choose the one that has the blue highlight around it, so I can show you what happens when you have a number in the bottom. For this one here, I want you to multiply by 1, doesn't do anything, but you're going to divide 1.609. So that's how you know if it's a times or divide. If the conversion factor is in the bottom, you're essentially just dividing by that number, and you get 32.3. Okay, so we've seen one where you times, and now we've seen one where we divide. So I will leave 6 and 7 for you guys. So for number 6, because it goes kilometer to yard, I first went kilometer to mile, and then mile to yard. So you need 2 conversion factors. And you can see this one here, in 1 kilometer, you have this many miles. In 1 mile, you have this many yards. And it just works out so nicely, you can just see how everything cancels. Kilometer with kilometer, mile with mile, and you're left in yards. All those numbers are in the top, so I just have to multiply. Now if you went a different way, that's perfectly fine. but you should end up with this value here, 5468.32 roughly. So if you try number 7, like centimeter is like your size of your finger, and yard is like the size of your step, your big pace. So there's probably not a centimeter to yard. So I'm thinking to myself, probably go to meter, and then once I have meters, go to yard. So give that a try. That's the thinking that you have to do. Left, how many decimal places? 2, right? So you should have 633.6 meters, and then you got to go from meters to yard. So 633.6 meters. I want meters to cancel, so meters got to go in the bottom. In 1 meter there is how many yards? In 1 meter there is 1.09. This one here. 1.0936. 633.6 times 1.0936. 692. 692.9 roughly. Hopefully you were able to get that. And yeah, unit conversions, like, they're boring, they're not very interesting, and most people nowadays just use technology. So I will leave you guys this page to do on your own, and I'll put up the answers in a bit here. I'm just going to do this bottom example for you. I'll do this bottom example for you. So you want to go from meters per second to kilometers per hour. These are both speeds, and they're just in 2 different units. So if you were able to travel 50 meters in 1 second, they're asking how many kilometers would you travel in 1 hour? So what you have to accomplish here is very similar. It's just multiplication, but you want to cancel those units. So you see I have meters in the top. I don't want meters. What do I want? Kilometers. So I need to get rid of meters, so I put meters in the bottom and kilometers in the top. That way the meters will cancel. Now I just need the relationship between meter and kilometer. What do we know? How many jumps? 3 jumps. Which one's larger? The kilometer. So in 1 kilometer, you would have 10 to the 3 meters. Or in other words, you would have 1,000. 3 jumps. Okay, I also want seconds to disappear. I want hours. Right now, seconds is in the bottom. Do you agree? So I need to put seconds in the... Where do I put seconds to make it go away? It's already in the bottom, so I need to put seconds in the top. Does anybody know how many seconds there are in an hour? I heard someone say 60, so why don't we do that? But that would be a minute, right? In 1 minute there are 60 seconds. Do you agree with that? Good. So you can do that one more time. I want minute to go away. 1 minute to go away, so put minute in the top. And now I can finally put hour in the bottom. And in 1 hour there are 60 minutes. So to finish this off, it would be 50 times 60 times 60 divide by 1,000. Anything in the bottom is division. Anything in the top is times. 50 times 60 times 60 divided by 1,000. 180 km per hour. Quite fast. Okay, this is called unit analysis, and it's used in the sciences to convert units. So you can try 8 to 15. I'll put the solutions on the board, and then you can see that for your homework tonight, you have assignment 2 at the bottom there. Okay, so and these ones, they actually do not show up on the test, but it's a nice little extension. So if you're feeling a little bit like this one's a bit much, don't worry about it because they're not on the test. But they're a nice extension and good for thinking. So let's take a look. You have times centimeter square to meter square. Do you guys know what the square dimension represents? The 2 represents 2 dimensions. It's like area, length and width. So like a rectangle or a circle or something like this. So when you do this conversion, each jump is no longer worth a factor of 10. It's worth a factor of 10 square. So let's jot this down. Km, HM, DAM, M, DM, CM, and MM. For regular length, if I go, for example, meter to centimeter, that's 2 jumps. So I would times by 10 and then times by 10. That's what you do for regular length. But if we were talking about the area of a square, we would have to times by 10 squared and times by 10 squared because it's 2-dimensional. So instead of each jump being a factor of 10, it's a factor of 100 or 10 squared. So for example, 3 centimeters squared to meter square. What would you do if it was just regular 3 or regular 3 centimeters? You would go 1, 2, and you'd be done. That's what it would be if it was just regular length. But because it's a square measurement, each jump is actually worth 2 decimal moves. So this one is not what you want. You start with 3, and you'd go 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's actually the one you're looking for. And again, it's not on the test, and you don't see it too often in high school. So really, I'm not too worried about it, but it's just nice to see it once. So like this next one, centimeter square to millimeter square. If it was just regular length, I would have 1 jump. 1 jump would be 1 factor of 10. But because it's a squared unit, that 1 jump has to be done twice. So it's actually 270. Okay, so you guys can try 1 to 7 here. And if you see the cubed one, each jump is worth 3. So try those, and then really we won't see that very often after this. Okay, so just double check here that you got some of the same answers. Remember that every jump for 1 dimension is factors of 10. Every jump for 2 dimension is factor of 10 square. And every jump for 3 dimensions factor of 10 cubed. So for example, if you look at number 8, you're going from a millimeter cube to a centimeter cube. So how many jumps is that? Just 1 jump, but each jump is worth 3 decimal moves or 1,000. Good. And the unit got bigger, the unit got bigger, so the number gets smaller. Okay, so if I'll just get you to flip to assignment 2. And I will show you some of these ones. And it's a very similar process, except instead of using the regular scale factor, you just use a squared scale factor. So let me just pull up my chart. And what's the relationship between meter and feet? So from my chart, I know that 1 meter is 3.2808 feet. I just stole that from my chart. Now when I go to do this conversion, 27,000 meters squared, I want meters squared to go away. So I got to put a meter square in the bottom. But right now, all I have is a meter from my conversion. So all you got to do is throw a square on that bracket. And all that does is put a square down here and a square up here, and then that will cancel that. So rather than just timesing by 3.2808 like you normally would, you times by 3.2808 squared. And again, this stuff will not be on your test with the square factors. You will only have to do linear conversions, you guys. So this is like 290,618. Okay? So please do not get stressed out about these square or cube factor conversions. You'll only have stuff like this on your test. And there might be like 2 or 3 of them. There'll be a metric to metric, there'll be imperial to imperial, and there'll be a metric to imperial. Okay? So you have about 3, maybe 4 conversion questions on your exam.